8 to go, make it 7 to go. And this battle just is endless. It's awesome here at Iowa Speedway.
It's easy to get underneath him in the middle of the corner.
USA.
It's hard to make the pass on corner exit.
I feel like William Byron should stay side by side with Kyle Busch because I think that's what's helping. That's what was helping William Byron more.
24 just needs to make sure he doesn't overdrive the middle of the corner because TJ Majors encouraging his driver Brad Keselowski from on top of the roof. You know, William Byron just needs to make sure that Brad can't gas it up with having that outer line clear.
45 races since Brad Keselowski went to victory lane. So that's what's driving this run right now, this encouraged, inspired run, and continuing this momentum. As we go back to Dave Burns. Dave, let's finish that story you started before about Chase Elliott.
Well, fans will recognize that pit road map they take down pit lane before the green to get an idea of whether or not they'll be speeding when it is time to pit. This was Chase Elliott's radio right after that.
We spent those last 2 sections on pit road. Any thoughts on that? We'll move by a fair bit. When you going to plan to adjust it down here?
So Alan Gustafson realizing they were too fast. I've heard up and down pit road several others were speeding. Steve, what adjustments do the teams make in this case before pit stop?
Well, what I would do is I would just give my driver a different target on his lights on the dash. There's a curve on those last couple sections, so you would probably speed up. Normally over a curve, you can run a little bit faster time over distance, so it sounds like that's what he was saying is, hey, Chase, we're going to give you a different target when you get to that final curve on pit road.
This battle for the lead, Brad Keselowski has changed his tactic. He has gotten higher on the racetrack. He consistently has been trying to pass William on the bottom. Now he's used the top lane to get momentum.
Yeah,
loose on corner entry. Brad makes it happen.
Finally, Keselowski finds a way through to the lead, and here comes Austin Cindric. So for those 67 laps led, and just like that, William Byron loses 2 positions.
What a great job by Brad to recognize, hey, what I'm doing is not working. I'm not going to be able to get by continuing it. So he moved his line. He got up the racetrack. That allowed him to have all that forward momentum getting into turn 3, trying to combat it. William Byron drove in the corner just a little bit too deep. Back of the car came around. Keselowski got the lead.
1 lap to go in this stage, presented by Credit One Bank. That battle went on for 42 laps. Incredible. The patience, the persistence, and it's going to pay off for the driver of the 6. In the lead at the right time, first stage win this season for Brad Keselowski in the RFK Racing Ford, the Sullivan Plumbing Machine. What a start here in Iowa.
I love these names too. Allmendinger 9th, and how about Justin Haley down there at 10th? Great run so far for the 7 car.
And all 3 Spire cars have had a really good first stage as well. But stage 1 belongs to Brad Keselowski here in Iowa.
Heck yeah.
Here at Iowa Speedway, and it's the same 2 guys that started the race on the front row. Chase Briscoe, what a start in the 19. Leaves William Byron behind. Here comes Ryan Blaney. Keselowski's down on the inside. He had an 11.5-second stop, which was the slowest of any car in the top 18. That's why Brad lost those positions and now has to catch them all back up again. But a flyer of a start from Briscoe.
Been a struggle on pit road all year for Brad Keselowski's team, and now it's got him back. See? Byron with trouble. Brad trying to take advantage of it.
And a big bump, big push from behind from Austin Cindric, and the 12 of Ryan Blaney flashes his way right around the outside into 2nd place. And Keselowski's going with him. There was talk about would that #1 pit stall for the 19 of Chase Briscoe have a disadvantage to it because it's right around the curve. Well, he just showed us in that example, in that circumstance, that no, it wasn't, because that was a terrific stop and he got out in front, but now he's going to have to wrestle the defending race winner, Ryan Blaney, for the lead, and here comes Byron on the inside.
Blaney got loose on the exit of 2, lost his momentum. William Byron underneath him.
Little behind, you see the 5 of Kyle Larson. Now Hocevar is hanging in there. Larson on the inside of the 2 of Cindric. And then Hocevar, the dinger's in there in 8th, ahead of Haley and Chase Elliott. There they are, top of your screen. William Byron in that Raptor Chevrolet with a left side mirror full of Brad Keselowski. He's like, oh no, not you again.
It's going to be like this all day. This is a racy facility. Drivers are going to be side by side. Restarts are going to be wild. Just get used to it.
And these two guys, if you think back to it, Steve, in stage one, they raced each other very clean, very respectfully.
I think what you find out of drivers that hope to be in the playoffs, I know Brad isn't there now, but there's this level of respect for a big majority of the race. Now that goes out the window when the checker flags flies as the fans want it to, but early on you're like, there's no reason to push and lean unless we see Brad. And as I say that, Brad, you made me look like a fool because you've run him into the old part of the racetrack.
He's ready to push and lead.
Yeah, but maybe that's the difference between a guy that's not in the playoffs versus a guy that is, right? Brad might feel a little more of that desperation. Brad knows he only has 4 more weeks, and you pointed out his point deficit. It's going to take a win.
Yeah. And look, we can talk about points because every position counts, right? But that isn't going to be enough for the driver of the 6. It's got to be a victory here in Iowa for the following 3 races. Here comes Kyle Larson. That HendrickCars.com Chevrolet in that iconic scheme has arrived on the scene.
I laughed because Brad instantly went like, oh, no, I'm going to go right to defense. He ran a lane lower purely to block the 5 car. Oh, these drivers are just...
It was great.
So aggressive.
It was great driving by Brad trying to get by William because he had William right on the edge of the new asphalt.